Maria says, Assalamu alaikum, I'm a revert in Islam and presently working in Saudi Arabia. I was raised as a Catholic by my parents, but alhamdulillah, they don't have any problems with me being a Muslim. One thing we don't agree about is, when I decided to get married, I met a good Muslim and proposed to me. He said he wanted to marry me because that he wants it, that is the relationship, to be lawful. And her mother learned about it and she opposed this, she refused it, and she stood against it. Now Sister Maria says that she knew this man for the past 2 years. She'd known him as he was a co-worker. He was a colleague at work. But he resigned his job because her mother did problems for him at work, and then he just decided to quit. Now, should I be guilty of committing disobedience to my mother? She is not a Muslim, but I am, torn between marrying and obedience to my mother. Am I committing a sin? First of all, we have to know that when a person accepts Islam, this means that no non-Muslim has power over him. And that is why if a female accepts Islam, once she wants to get married, as we know, marriage is not correct and accepted unless it has the conditions fulfilled. And among the pillars of marriage is the consent of the guardian and his approval. And usually the guardian is the father. So a woman cannot marry without the approval of her father. Now her mother approval or disapproval does not affect the marriage. So if the father says yes, then the marriage is correct. Whether the mother approves or disapproves, the marriage is correct. But there's another condition, that is that the guardian has to be of the same religion of the woman to get married. Meaning, if I'm going to marry a Muslim girl, her father has to be a Muslim so that his consent would be a condition and a pillar of the marriage contract. So if she's a Muslim and he's not, he's a Christian, I do not seek his approval and I do not take his consent because it has no value. And even if he does give me his consent and I do the marriage contract, it is not valid. Her guardian becomes the Islamic judge because she's a Muslim and her father is not. We look at any Muslim relative of hers from her father's side. So if she has a brother who is a Muslim, he becomes her guardian. Even in the presence of her Christian father, he becomes the guardian. If she has a Muslim uncle, a paternal uncle, he becomes the guardian. If she does not have anyone Muslim in her family, in this case it goes to the Muslim judge or to the Muslim ruler. He takes over and becomes her guardian. Now, in non-Muslim countries, there isn't any Muslim judge or Muslim ruler, so the Imam of the Islamic Center takes this role and he approves or disapproves of the marriage of a woman to another man by looking into their case and checking on the man whether he's suitable or not. If it's the other way around, if the girl is a Christian but the father is a Muslim, the consent of the father has no value because the difference of the religion. Though he's Muslim, yet his daughter is Christian. So this cannot be done in this case because the father, it's a difference of religion. In your case, because you are a Muslim, your guardian is not your father who is a non-Muslim. Your guardian becomes the Imam of the Islamic Center, or if you're in a Muslim country, the judge or the ruler, the Muslim ruler. Your mother's disapproval has no value in the sense that the contract is correct. So if she opposes your marriage and you still go ahead with it, you are legally married, Islamically married, and your marriage is correct as long as the man is a Muslim, alhamdulillah, practicing, the conditions are fulfilled. However, it would not be advisable for you to go against your mother's will, in the sense that try to combine all views. Try to convince her, try to humiliate yourself to her and say, mother, this is a person I know, he's good, what you have heard is only hearsay and nothing to prove it. If she agrees, alhamdulillah. If she doesn't, and you see that this is a suitable person for you to get married to, go ahead and marry him. And then there's no sin in disobeying your mother concerning this bit, insha'Allah.